Aye.
Appointments, community funding pool.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd just like to take a second to give an update on where we're at in that process. The community funding pool, as we've made mention a couple times of getting that committee, kind of bringing some organization back, looking to what was kind of going on and where we wanted to head in the future. And in doing that, we looked back, and the first thing we attempted to do was find the governing documents of the community funding pool. And come to find out that there is no formal set of governing documents. There is excerpts from minutes that begin back in 2000 of the process of appointment for the community funding pool. And essentially what that said, in 2000, there were to be 4 members from the community that represented the community at large. There were to be another 4 members that represented nonprofits. And there were 4 members specifically designated to represent Macon Program for Progress, the Peggy Crosby Center, and the Macon County Community Foundation, and the Volunteer Council, the Franklin Volunteer Council. Well, in doing a little more research, we found out that the Franklin Volunteer Council no longer exists. And as we were looking back through through the documentation we have for the community funding pool, we found that it had 8 members. 8 members is what we had on there. Again, there was that 12-member requirement that I just specified. Furthermore, we found that the members that were on here, some had moved away, and all of the terms of the members had expired. So I made contact with each one of the community funding pool members, or someone that knew, hey, this person had moved. I spoke with this person a while back. They're not willing to continue. They're having issues, whatever they might be. But in speaking with that and trying to nail this down, was able to speak with Ms. Karen Wallace, who has submitted an application to the community funding pool to continue her service there. Bobby Contino, who also has submitted an application, and Jennifer Jones, who has submitted her application as well to continue service on the community funding pool. In addition to that, I kind of went out and talked with some folks from nonprofits, tried to solicit some applications, and what I have now is a commitment from the 3 representatives for the Community Foundation, the Program for Progress, and the Peggy Crosby Center have received a commitment but no application at this time, have received applications for 4 community members, and have received applications for 4 nonprofit members. So with that being said, again, the Volunteer Council of Franklin no longer exists. What I would recommend, we do have these applications that I just mentioned. We are waiting on some more applications, and while we are waiting on that, in an attempt to kind of formalize, if you will, the actions of that committee and have something that spells out the committees that are to be represented, the terms of appointment, and the process that goes through for reappointment, just kind of clean it up and get everything in order through a formal set of governing documents. I've spoken with Chester. He would be willing to do that, and at the end of the day, we hope to come to you in November at the November board meeting with 12 applications that satisfy the requirements of what is there now. We're thinking that we will eliminate the Volunteer Council of Franklin, since it no longer exists, and make that slot a community member slot. If we do, there's an application that's turned in right now that would satisfy that requirement. So in doing this, if Chester and I could work to get these governing documents established and get that ready to go, then we hope to come to you in November with the applications, the formalized governing documents for this board, and be able to proceed with the press release for applications for the nonprofits that will apply to the community funding pool. Hope to get those out immediately. Look to get those back in February, and potentially the board could be looking at approval in March or April. And that is not a time frame that has not been. We've had that same time frame in the past, and so it is urgent, but we're not behind the gun. We'll work forward, get this thing cleaned up, have it ready to go, and be able to move forward with a formalized process for how we do business on this board.
These documents you and Chester are going to draft the founding documents that outlines.
Yes, just basically memorialize some of the pieces that have been discussed and approved by boards in minutes throughout the years that we had to go back and look through the minutes to find. Kind of get that all together in one place so that we can go to one document and see what members are represented on this funding pool, see what the term limits are, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think it'd be likely nothing more than a resolution that would essentially identify the organization as an advisory board, what they're provide for what their responsibilities would be, and how the board would be appointed.
No guidelines for applications from nonprofits or the process
You
of
can
awarding.
have as many of those things as you want in that resolution. And I think if any of you commissioners have some thoughts about that, I would encourage you to provide those to Derek, and those can certainly be topics of conversation for potential inclusion in that resolution.
Yeah, you got
So-
to, thank you for.
Yeah, just
putting
wanted
that
to
together.
bring you up to. We have got like I say, we've received 9 applications and commitment for 3 more. So we've got this thing in the red zone. We're just going to take it on in November.
Thank you, Shirley.
Yes, sir.
Good deal.
All right, moving on to the Economic Development Commission. Looks like we have 4 appointments. All of them look like reappointments to me. We have from the town of Franklin, their recommendation of Barbara McCray. Should we do each one of these individually, I guess, Chester?
Motion to approve, Mr. McCray.
Second.
Motion to second, all in favor?
Aye.
The second one's from the Highland Area Chamber of Commerce for Bill Futrell.
Motion approved, Bill.
Motion and a second from Commissioner Higdon.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Franklin Area Chamber of Commerce for Jim Breedlove. Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then the third one is, I believe, an at-large member. It's a reappointment for Brett Murphy.
Motion to approve, Mr. Mercer.
Second.
Got a motion and a second from Commissioner Shields. All in favor?
Aye.
Any reason for closed session?
No, sir.
So we are going to adjourn in that recess.
I think calling a special meeting would be.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.